there are shortcuts you should be using in Kittl to design and do what you need to do a lot faster. And we're going to go over some of my favorites, ones you should definitely be using. There are plenty more, but I'm going to show you how to access those at the end of the video as well. And if you're new to Kittl, you can sign up to try and follow along using the link down in the description. But let's get started. So the first Kittl shortcut I want you to be using is duplicating faster. So I have this board here, I have this design in here, and you can duplicate anything in a variety of ways. Now you could select something and you could click on this little duplicate icon, and if I click that, it is now going to put one on top of it, okay? And it'll do that for every single element. I can select this one, I can select duplicate, and then now it is giving me a second version. You can also click and hit Command or Control C and then Command or Control V, which will do the same thing. Now, that's not actually the shortcut I want to show you, because I like to do it by holding down the Alt or the Option key, clicking and dragging. And as you can see, I can just keep holding down that Option or Alt key and just clicking and dragging to get so many duplicates of my design if I need it. Now, you can do this with anything. I did that with a piece of text. We can do it here with this little globe. I'll hold down the Alt or Option key, click and drag. I can do it with an entire design. So I'll click my artboard up here at the top, hold down the Alt or Option key, click and drag, and now I can duplicate it. Now I can make it a different size if I want to, and you can keep doing this as many times as you want. Again, holding down the Alt or the Option key and then clicking and dragging will duplicate way faster anything on your board. Now, the second shortcut is to bring up rulers and guides, which is clicking Shift and R. Now, you may need this when you're trying to get more alignment, or if you need to know how long or big something is size-wise. And to quickly and easily create guides, you will move your cursor up to the top or the left side to where you see the cursor change to the top and down arrows. Click and then drag, which will then provide you with a guide. Now, it is blue because it's selected, but if I deselect it, it now becomes red. If you ever want to delete a guide, or maybe you made the wrong one or something like that, you can select it and then click delete or the backspace button on your keyboard. As you can see, I grabbed one from the side and I drag it over onto the artboard to let it go, and then it just becomes part of the artboard here. And I can take anything, whether it be text, an element, and I can move it and it will snap to the guide. Now check that out. If I snap it, you see how the highlight red gets a little bit deeper, a little bit darker, so that you can see what's happening. That is how you can know for sure that you have been snapping and aligning things to your guidelines. Now, you can also grab them from the top, bring them down, and put them here so that I could do the same thing. I can snap my text, which highlights that top one red. Now you can see both of them are brighter red, and now I know that this is aligned. Now, if you ever want to get this out of the way, you can hit Shift R to hide them, but don't worry, you haven't accidentally deleted your lines or anything. If you click Shift R again, there they are, and you can go about your way. You can even click them and move them around again if you want to. All right, this next shortcut is actually 3 in 1, and they all have to do with holding the Shift and using keys 1, 2, and 3. Now, you may be off to the side, or you may have a lot of things on your canvas here. I only have these 2 artboards here that I selected, but if I'm ever out of the way, or I've accidentally scrolled and moved and I have no idea where I am and no idea how to get back to just seeing all of my projects at once, I can click Shift 1, which is just going to bring me to the overview. This has centered my canvas on everything that's here. If I were to duplicate these, let's say I've got some like this and I've moved away from the canvas, I don't know where any of my projects or my artboards are. If I hit Shift 1, that will bring me back to a center view of all of my projects. As you can see here, it has now aligned them and centered them on the canvas here so that I can see all of them. So that is Shift 1, which is bringing me back to a center view of all my designs. Now, let's say that you were working on a specific canvas. You were working on a specific artboard and you accidentally scroll away like I've just done now. Now, I scrolled pretty far because I'm using my trackpad, and now I either have to zoom out a ton or try to move the canvas around. But if I hit Shift 2, that will bring me back to that artboard. It will center that artboard that I was working on. Okay, extremely useful tool. Now from here, if I hit Shift 1, remember, it brings me back to that center view so I can see everything I was working on. Now, let's say that you have a specific component selected. I've selected this Kittl text right here, and I've accidentally scrolled away. I want to just be clicking and working on that piece of text, and if I hit Shift 1, it's just going to bring me back to a center view. But if you hit Shift 3, it takes you directly to that element, and it not only takes you to it, it zooms in so that now you can start editing. And if you zoom out here, or if I click Shift 1, it takes me back to the center view. So Shift 1, center view, Shift 2, the artboard view, Shift 3 to the element view that you have selected. All right, let's talk about grouping things together, because oftentimes I will see many Kittl users clicking one thing, dragging it up, and then clicking another thing, dragging it up one at a time, which is a pretty cumbersome way to do it. Now, if you want to group things together, you can hold the Shift key to select multiple objects. For example, I want both of these two things selected. So if I don't have anything selected, I'm going to select this Kittl text, hold down the Shift key, and select the shortcuts text. Now, there's a couple ways you can do this. You can click the group button, which is here in the quick task panel or the quick task bar. And if I click group, now they're together. So if I click anywhere in here, if I click on the shortcuts text, if I click on the Kittl text, it's all together as one piece, exactly how I want it. Now, if I ever need to get into specific editing, or if I want to edit a specific piece of this, you could click ungroup, or you can actually double click in, which means you've double clicked into the group, you've expanded the group, and now I'm only working on the shortcuts text. If I click out of it and select it again, you can see it's still grouped. I'll go ahead and hit ungroup, which now means they are separate text boxes. The second and quickest way to do this, other than clicking that button, is if you were to click the Kittl and the shortcuts text, or anything. It doesn't have to be text. It can be elements. It can be whatever you want. You can hit Command G, which now you can see this change to ungroup because I have grouped these together, but you can also click Command or Control G to ungroup as well. And so now they're here. I guess the fastest way to do this actually is to select this and now hit group. That's actually faster than having to do the two key commands, but either way, they're both shortcuts there for you to use. All right, another thing that I see Kittl users do that I think is wasting all of you a ton of time is scaling things from corners as opposed to scaling from the center. What I mean by that is, let's say I wanted this shortcuts text to be smaller. I see many of you taking a corner and scaling it down and then moving it around to be centered. So you see how if I scale it from the bottom right, it's going to scale down to the left. Now, you could do this and then use the alignment tools over here on the top right to center it back together, but there's an easier way to do this, where if I click on any of these corners, any of the bounding box corners, and I hold down the Alt or the Option key, depending on your keyboard, holding down that Alt or Option key, clicking and dragging will scale this from the center. And this is such an easier way to make sure everything stays in alignment. It could be anything. It could be this thing here in the back, this like blob shape, if I wanted that to be bigger. And this saves you a lot of time from having to scale up, center, move down, left, right, arrow keys, whatever. Just hold down that Alt or Option key, click, and then scale it. All right, the next shortcut is actually an easy one. It's all about zooming. And there's a couple ways you can do this, but the fastest way is actually to just use the plus and minus keys. The plus and minus keys on your board are going to use 50% increments to either zoom in or zoom out. You can see down at the bottom, it's currently at 50%. If I click plus, it goes to 100%. If I click plus, it goes to 200%, and it kind of multiplies over its effect to get you closer to what you're looking for. But you can also use these plus and minus keys here, which will do the same ratios, or you can use these quick actions here inside of the zoom panel if you want to get something more specific. But if you're using a trackpad or perhaps a mouse with a scroll wheel like this one right here, you can actually use two fingers to pinch in and pinch out to get more of a robust incremental point of zoom. So for example, I zoom in just a little bit, it goes from 84 to 100. I zoom in a little bit, it goes from 100 to 116. I zoom out, and I can get a much more specific kind of zoom instead of doing the increments of 50 or 25 or 100. Now, to do that with a scroll wheel, obviously if I have my mouse right here and I'm moving it around, the scroll will simply just scroll up and down. But if I hold down the Alt or the Option key and then use this top scroll wheel, it will become the zoom. And the same way, you can see right here, 68, 72, 77, it's a much more specific and much more robust zoom that you can use. But for most people, probably the plus and minus is going to help you the most, or if you have a computer with any kind of trackpad, that pinching in and out is going to get you to the zoom level that you want. All right, this next shortcut is something that we actually get asked about a lot, and it's really, really easy to do, and that is moving around the canvas if you don't have a trackpad or if you don't have a mouse with a scroll wheel. If you do have a mouse with a side scroll wheel here on the side, you can actually just rotate it like this and it will actually move you left and right on the canvas, which saves me a ton of time, but I know a lot of people don't have that. What you can actually do is just hold down the space bar, click and drag. You see how my cursor changes. If I hold down the space bar, it becomes a little hand symbol, and now I can click and drag and move around the canvas very, very easily, and then it goes back to my cursor when I let go of the space bar. So if you're trying to get all around, you don't have, you know, the trackpad for whatever reason, or you just don't like moving left and right, because if I do use two fingers and swipe left and right, it does move me around the canvas like that. But if you don't have that or don't want to use that, you can always click the space bar, click and drag to move you more specifically to where you want to go. All right, our next shortcut is about text and adding text. There's multiple ways to do this. You could go down here, you could click on the text icon and that will bring up your text cursor. You could go over here into the text settings panel and you could add headline text, which will add headline text here, or add paragraph text. But actually the fastest way to get access and start adding text easily is just click T. If you click the letter T, you now see the crossbar here that your cursor has changed to, and I can simply drag out, and based on the size that I drag my box will be the size that the text comes out, just like that. And now I have a lot of room to expand, move around, and it's a really, really easy way to add text. And of course, if you click out of it, you instantly go back to your cursor, or you could click another letter to go to another selection tool if you wanted to. And speaking of, let's say that you were on the text selection tool and you see the little crossbar here, but then you decide I actually don't want to use text anymore. Well, if you just click the V key on your keyboard, it becomes the selection again. If I click T, it goes back to that crossbar for the text. If I click P, it will take me to the pen tool, which is another shortcut. But if I ever want to go back to my cursor, V is always my home base. It will give me back my selection cursor, and now I can go on with whatever I want to do. Now, if you're ever wanting to add more artboards, like for example, if we wanted to start taking some elements off of these to use independently, I could go down here and click on the artboard tool, but you see right there, the key command is A. So if I just click my A key anywhere on the canvas, it's going to change to that crossbar again, where I can start drawing out my canvas. Now, another cool hack is if you want a perfect square, when you have the artboard tool selected, which again is A, if you hold down the shift key, click and drag, it's going to make that perfect square just like that, so you don't have to guess whether or not you're getting something that's a perfect square. And then now I can come over here and I can use the first shortcut we were talking about, which was the Alt or Option key, clicking and dragging, and now I can get all of these little elements here that I maybe want to use at another time or for something else specific, and I can size them up all from just quickly hitting that A for the artboard tool and then using my Alt or Option key, clicking and dragging. Now this one is a really easy one because we also get questions about how to save projects, and that is simply just Command or Control S, and when I click that, you're going to see that little message up at the top that says your project was saved successfully. And this is virtually the same effect in pretty much all programs or softwares that you would use. Command or Control S is generally the way to save, and it's the same way in Kittl. Now, if you want to do a more tactile way to do it, you can come up here to the hamburger menu, and right here where it says save, Command or Control S, if I click on that, it is going to say saving, and then now it says all savings changed. But again, Command or Control S is the fastest way to do it. Now let's talk about a cool shortcut for flipping elements either horizontally or vertically, and this is also going to save you a lot of time. Let's say that I wanted to experiment with the way this shape is currently facing, because you can see the top right is taller than the left side and vice versa. And if I wanted to flip this element around, what I could do is come here into the more options, and then I can use the flip horizontal or the flip vertical tool. But you see right here, this up arrow and H and this up arrow and V, this is the shortcut, which is Shift H or Shift V. So if I have this selected and I click Shift H, that flips the element horizontal. Same thing for anything really. If I Shift H on this text, it's going to flip it the opposite direction. If I click Shift H again, and it will go back to the opposite direction. If I click Shift V, it will flip it vertically. So V for vertical, H for horizontal. And if I wanted to go back to the way that it was, I can click Shift V, and then boom, now it flips to the other side. All right, let's talk about erasing. So if we wanted to erase an element and say it is a vector element, you can click on this erase button here on the top contextual taskbar, or you can just simply click E, which will then prompt you to rasterize something if it's a vector. In this case, it is a vector. If it's a static image, then it won't give you this message. It will just instantly provide you with the eraser tool. Let's go ahead and rasterize this for the sake of the tutorial. So now we're in the eraser, and I can start erasing just like this, which is revealing what's behind. Now, what's really cool in a feature we just released was restoring the parts that we've erased. So if I come over here to the right side and I click on restore, this is now going to let me repaint or inpaint back together what I have accidentally erased from my image, which can be really helpful if you're trying to get different cutouts, or if you AI generated something and there's some parts that you want to erase but you accidentally erased too much. This is a great way to do it. Now, to get out of it, I could click exit edit mode, or I can hit E again, and boom, there we go. There is our eraser mode in and out. But you can also simply just click erase from this taskbar as well. All right, the last shortcut we're going to talk about is rotation, because again, I see a lot of people grabbing the element, coming down here and simply trying to get what they're looking for by just rotating it without holding shift. But if you hold shift, this is going to give you the perfect increments of 15 all the way around. So you see there's 0, 15, 30, 45, all the way up to 90. And this is a better way to get that 90 degree, 180, 360 rotation, because if I don't hold down shift, I'm going to be guessing down when I get to -1 or 0 or 1, and I can't exactly know which one it is. But if I hold shift, I know it's perfectly circle, or if I go all the way around, I know that it's perfectly 180 degrees rotation, and that works with anything, text included. I could do the same thing if I want it to be perfectly vertical. Holding down shift will snap it to those 15-degree increments, which is a lot better way to get more accurate details. All right, there are actually other shortcuts that you can use to become a Kittl master faster, and to access those, you can click on this little question mark down here in the bottom, where you can access the shortcuts panel, which now provides you with everything I just talked about, but a couple of more as well, like avoiding snapping if you don't want it to snap to guides, showing the grid, or perhaps increasing or decreasing the eraser size with the bracket keys, moving things forward. There are more, and we're going to be adding more, which, by the way, if there's a specific shortcut that you want in Kittl, let us know by commenting down below. I certainly have some that I hope we add to the product soon, but I'm sure you have many more that could make your editing a lot easier, so make sure you comment those down below. And while you're down there, make sure you subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, especially if you are a Kittl user. That really helps us out a ton. And if you think someone might be interested in using Kittl, send them this video or another video that they might be interested in so that they can sign up and join the Kittl family. All right, that's all for this video. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you in the next one.